All right, let's move on to another game with massive college football playoff implications. Notre Dame at USC. USC's already locked into the Pac-12 championship game. We'll get to who they might play in just a second here. USC's a 5-point home favorite here. For me, it's the Irish. It's the Irish. It's always has been the Irish. It always will be the Irish in this game. I've loved Notre Dame as a dog all year. Not changing my tune now. How I think this game plays out. Number one, I make this game like right around 3, right? And catching 5. And I also think it's a pretty good matchup. And then I also have, Notre Dame's been one of the unluckiest teams in the country in turnovers. And we have USC, who once again won by 3 last week, gets 3 interceptions from DTR. Those bounces are still out there. Maybe they don't come, but there's a better chance they're going to come than not. But I think this game plays out similar to how Oregon State did. And Notre Dame's offensive line can control the game. They can control the clock. They can move the sticks. They also have a much better secondary than UCLA was able to put out there. And they can kind of just grind this game down. UCLA wants to get in the shootouts too, just like USC. So all the pressure's on USC here. Notre Dame has thrived in this role all year. And I think from a stylistic standpoint, they're going to make this game uncomfortable for USC. And just like most USC competent opponents, they should be able to go up and down the field. UCLA, even with 3 picks, scored 45 points. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring. I like Notre Dame here. I think this ends up being like who has the ball last. So I'll happily take the 5 in a game I make like right around 3 in a good stylistic matchup.
Yeah, it's a game I make 4.5, and it's kind of sitting in a dead zone, so I haven't touched it yet. But Notre Dame is the side that Colin wants. Absolutely. When you look at what UCLA did to USC, they have a tight end, Michael Ezeki. I mean, he's got like 30 catches in his entire career at UCLA. He had 3 touchdowns against USC. So then when you look at that and you say, wow, they gave up 3 touchdowns to a tight end. What is Michael Mayer going to do to this USC defense if some throwaway tight end for the Bruins is scoring 3 touchdowns? Notre Dame's going to run the ball too. Audric Estime has just been running away with the job. Used to be a 3-headed monster there in the running back, but now it's all his. 2 TDs against Boston College. I think he was pulled because the game was out of hand, but he's averaging 3.5 yards after contact. And, where Notre Dame differs from USC is from UCLA is clock management. They can have sustained drives that end in points, just, drain clock. And USC's defense is 118th in defensive finishing drives. UCLA just didn't capitalize on this kind of stuff. And then I said this last week, the reason why we like UCLA so much is because the only play that USC has is the flush Caleb Williams outside the pocket, let him scramble and hit shots downfield. And Notre Dame is 17th in the pass rush. So that advantage that UCLA had last week, Notre Dame's going to have it too. They're going to flush Caleb Williams from the pocket frequently. Now, you have to go and look at what Notre Dame has done against comparable quarterbacks to see if they maintained assignments downfield, which UCLA could not do. Garrett Shrader and DJU kind of fit the same mold that Notre Dame has faced. DJ had 191 yards in the air, but just 23 on the ground. Shrader was hurt after going 5 of 14 passing, so it's a little tough to diagnose that. But there is something to say that, Notre Dame has done well, at least against comparable quarterbacks, at not letting them have explosive plays and touchdowns. And I think what really makes this bet for Notre Dame, there's just a monster difference in attention to details and fundamentals. Special teams, USC 126, Notre Dame 23rd. Penalties, Notre Dame 23rd, USC outside the top 100. There's just a big difference in a lot of areas in here, and I can expect Michael Mayer to have at least 3 touchdowns. That's what the UCLA throwaway tight ends have in that. Can't imagine what Notre Dame's going to do.